Predator gets too close, a zebra can bite down with enough force to inflict serious wounds, sometimes even forcing the attacker to abandon the hunt. Despite their speed, strength, and defensive tactics, zebras are not always able to escape their fate as prey. If surrounded by a pack of hyenas or successfully separated from the herd by a lion, their chances of survival drop significantly. That is why zebras rarely travel alone. They rely on the confusion of their stripes and the protection of the herd to keep themselves safe from predators. Beyond being prey, zebras play a crucial role in the Ngorongoro ecosystem. Not only do they provide sustenance for predators, but they also help maintain the balance of the grasslands. By grazing on taller grasses, they clear the way for smaller herbivores like Thompson's gazelles and wildebeests, ensuring that the ecosystem remains in harmony. Their seasonal migrations also trigger the movement of other animals, creating complex food chains that would collapse without their presence. In the end, zebras are more than just prey. They are resilient survivors, creatures that do not rely on brute strength, but rather on intelligence, speed, and unique defensive adaptations. In the untamed world of Ngorongoro, where life and death constantly intertwine, zebras continue to stride proudly across the savannah, their black and white stripes still confounding predators, securing their place as one of Africa's most enduring species. Across the vast African plains where life and death walk hand in hand, one of nature's most spectacular events unfolds every year: the Great Migration of the wildebeest. Millions of these animals, accompanied by zebras and Thompson's gazelles, traverse dry lands, cross deep rivers, and move toward the Ngorongoro crater. This is not just a journey spanning hundreds of miles, but a battle for survival, where every step can determine fate. Each year, as the first drops of rain touch the Serengeti, an invisible signal echoes in the minds of the wildebeests. They sense the shift in nature, the fading green of the grasslands, the shrinking water sources under the relentless heat. And so, the migration begins. From wobbly newborns to seasoned adults, the entire herd moves forward, following an ancient rhythm passed down through generations. Wildebeests do not migrate out of instinct alone, they move to survive. Grass is their lifeline, but when the fields are depleted, they must seek greener pastures. In the Serengeti, the dry season stretches on, leaving behind barren land, scarce water, and predators hungrier than ever. But in Ngorongoro, the rains continue to fall, the grass remains lush, and that is their ultimate destination. Beyond food, migration is also a strategy to evade predators. When a massive herd moves as one, lions, hyenas, and cheetahs struggle to single out a target. By never staying in one place for too long, wildebeests reduce their chances of being hunted down relentlessly by the shadows that stalk them. But the road to Ngorongoro is fraught with peril. Awaiting them are challenges that test the limits of their endurance: harsh landscapes, relentless predators, and one of nature's most terrifying barriers: crocodile-infested rivers. As the herd approaches the Mara River, tension fills the air. They know that beneath the murky waters, ancient giants await. One wrong step, one moment of hesitation, could mean death. But turning back is not an option. Behind them, thirst and hunger press forward. Ahead, the river stands as an unyielding test of survival. The first wildebeest plunges in, breaking the surface of the still water. In this battle for survival, hesitation equals death. Within moments, hundreds, then thousands follow, turning the river into a chaotic surge of bodies and splashing waves. The strong swim fiercely toward the far bank, but not all are so lucky. The young and the weak struggle, their bodies caught in the unforgiving current. And then the true horror begins. From beneath the churning water, massive jaws explode upward. A crocodile clamps onto a struggling wildebeest, dragging it into the depths in a violent death roll. Water churns, hooves thrash. Desperate bellows pierce the air. But the herd cannot stop. The migration does not wait. This is the brutal law of nature. Only the strongest will survive. Even after crossing the river, safety is still far away. The hunters of the savannah have been waiting. Lions, their piercing eyes locked on the herd, move into position. Hyenas, cunning and patient, watch for the weak and the wounded cheetahs. The fastest predators on the plains wait for the perfect moment to strike. Chaos is inevitable. Under the cover of darkness, the hunt begins. A young wildebeest strays too far from the herd, desperately trying to catch up. The distance grows, and that is all a cheetah needs. In seconds, it accelerates, closing the gap like a streak of lightning. The chase is over before it even begins. The cheetah has claimed its prize. But the herd does not stop. There is no time to mourn, no time to look back. Life does not wait. After hundreds of miles, after enduring the trials of the journey, the wildebeests finally reach Ngorongoro. Lush green grasslands stretch before them, and cool, refreshing water beckons. They have made it, at least until the next season. But they know the journey is never truly over. When the grass begins to wither, when the water starts to disappear, they will move again, returning to the Serengeti, continuing the eternal cycle of life. To the distant observer, the wildebeest migration is a breathtaking display of nature's raw beauty. But to the wildebeests themselves, it is an endless war, a fight with no guarantee of survival, where every step could be their last. In the wild lands of the Ngorongoro crater, where apex predators like lions, hyenas, and leopards reign, there exists another creature. Silent, yet formidable, the black rhino. These are solitary warriors, resilient wanderers of the savannah. But today, their numbers have dwindled to a critical level. Only about 30 black rhinos remain in Ngorongoro. Not because nature has forsaken them, but because humans have hunted them relentlessly. With a massive frame, armor-like skin, and the ability to reach speeds of up to 31 miles per hour, black rhinos are not easy to take down, but their most dangerous enemy is not lions or leopards, it is human greed. For centuries, black rhinos thrived on the African plains. Yet, in just the last 100 years, their population has plummeted by 98%. The reason? Their horns, nothing more than compressed keratin, just like human fingernails, yet sought after like priceless treasure. Conservation efforts have intensified. Armed patrols, drone surveillance, and even drastic measures like dehorning rhinos to make them less valuable to poachers. However, the survival of black rhinos does not rest solely on their protectors. It depends on us. When the demand for rhino horns disappears, when humanity realizes that these creatures are worth more alive than dead, only then will they truly be saved. Black rhinos are not just symbols of the wild, they are irreplaceable in their ecosystem. If they vanish, the savannah will change forever. And Ngorongoro has witnessed millions of years of survival, but can it safeguard its last warriors? The answer lies with us. Amidst the tranquil waters of the Ngorongoro crater, between lush grasslands and dense riverbanks, there exists a creature that commands absolute power. Not the lion, not the crocodile, but the hippopotamus, the giant that dominates the rivers, a beast so formidable that even the fiercest predators tread carefully. Hippos appear slow and lumbering, but that is a lethal misconception. Weighing up to 7,000 pounds with skin as tough as armor, they are nearly impervious to crocodile bites or lion claws. But what makes them truly dangerous is their unpredictable aggression. Underwater, hippos do not swim like fish. They walk along the riverbed, using their powerful legs to glide effortlessly. They can hold their breath for up to 5 minutes, vanishing beneath the surface, only to reappear in an instant, catching enemies off guard. On land, they can sprint at speeds of 19 miles per hour, faster than most humans and even rivaling a zebra in a short burst. But speed is not their only weapon. Hippos possess one of the strongest bite forces in the animal kingdom, with canine teeth reaching up to 20 inches long. When threatened, they open their massive jaws wide, a final warning. If their adversary fails to retreat, one crushing bite can tear through flesh or shatter bone. Battles between dominant males can last for hours, ending only when one contender is no longer able to fight. Hippos are responsible for more human deaths in Africa than lions or crocodiles. Not because they hunt, hippos are herbivores, but because they are fiercely territorial. A small boat drifting too close, a hippo can flip it in seconds. A person standing near the water's edge, a hippo can charge without warning. Even the most feared hunters think twice before challenging a hippo. Crocodiles, the ambush killers of the rivers, rarely attack an adult hippo. Even lions only take the risk when a hippo is injured or stranded on land. Despite their brute strength, hippos play a vital role in Ngorongoro's ecosystem. As they move through rivers, they carve out pathways in the water, maintaining the flow for countless other species. By grazing, they control grass growth, preventing shrub overgrowth that could overtake the plains. Even their dung nourishes algae and microorganisms, forming the foundation of the aquatic food chain. But even rulers face danger. Poaching and habitat loss are the greatest threats to hippos. They are hunted for their ivory-like teeth, while human expansion forces them to compete for water with livestock. Though they are powerful, they too could be pushed toward extinction without proper protection. Hippos are not predators, but they are never prey. They do not need to roar like lions or stalk like leopards. Their sheer presence alone is enough to keep others at bay. And when night falls, as these giants emerge from the waters to roam the savannah, even lion prides know to keep their distance. On the shimmering waters of Lake Magadi, thousands of flamingos spread their wings, turning the surface into a sea of pink. This breathtaking spectacle is one of Ngorongoro's most mesmerizing sights. But beyond their beauty, flamingos play a crucial role in maintaining the delicate balance of the lake's ecosystem, serving as an essential link in the food chain. Their iconic pink hue is no mere coincidence. Their diet, rich in microscopic organisms packed with carotenoid pigments, gives their feathers their striking color. Without this diet, their plumage fades, an undeniable testament to the importance of water quality and habitat health for these birds. Flamingos do not hunt like aerial predators, nor do they scavenge like vultures. Instead, they are nature's finest water filters, using their uniquely curved beaks to sift microorganisms from the mud. Moving in vast flocks, they create an unforgettable spectacle. When thousands take flight at once, the lake itself seems to ripple in pink waves, a rare marvel of the natural world. Not all inhabitants of Ngorongoro are gentle vultures, often overlooked scavengers. Play an indispensable role in maintaining ecological balance. When an animal dies, its carcass can become a breeding ground for disease if left to decay. Vultures swoop in, devouring every last scrap, preventing the spread of infection and ensuring the savanna remains clean and disease-free.
High above, a troop of colobus monkeys leap from branch to branch. Their black and white coats ripple like smoke across the treetops. No screams, just sharp, silent jumps. On the forest floor, a band of mongoose follows in single file. One stands upright, still as a statue, eyes locked on the tree line. Farther up the rocky slope, a pair of clip springers spring lightly from ledge to ledge. Each jump seems to float, weightless like shadows, yet sure as stone. And amid all this quiet motion, a leopard waits in the shade. No one knows how long she's been there. She lies stretched out on a wide branch, just high enough to stay unseen. Her pale yellow eyes are open, not blinking, not gleaming. Just watching. Below her, a young antelope has drifted away from the herd, alone, unaware that death is watching from above. The wind shifts, luck favors the leopard. Her scent goes undetected. No rustle, no tremor. Everything holds still. Then she launches. No roar, no warning, a clean drop from above. Claws lock in. Jaws clamp tight. The antelope twitches once, then falls quiet. The leopard doesn't eat on the ground. She clenches her jaws, drags the kill backward, and begins to climb. Every move is a flex of muscle. The prey weighs more than half her own body, but she climbs anyway. 4 legs. Shoulder power, years of practice. The branch isn't that high, just high enough to keep hyenas away, and strong enough to hold her and her prize. At the top, she places the carcass gently. Starts feeding from the soft belly first. No snarling, no tearing. Only the sound of teeth meeting flesh. One ear always tilted, listening. Down below, a lone female hyena circles. She smells blood, looks up. Can't see clearly, but she knows. The leopard's here. She paces, searching for a chance. There isn't one. She can't climb. She gives up, her footsteps fading into the distance. The leopard doesn't flinch. She's used to it. Here, if you eat without care, you lose your meal. She won't fight for food. She avoids the fight from the start. Pick the right tree, the right time, the right place. After eating, she lies down, not in deep sleep, one eye shut, one ear still twitching, one paw still resting lightly on bone. It's a half-rest, half-alert state. Leopards live alone. They don't call for company. They don't roar to mark land. They leave scents on bark, on trails. If another leopard comes, she doesn't fight unless forced. If it's stronger, she disappears. If there's an opening, she hunts again. No need for drama to survive, just precision. In Kilimanjaro, trees are gold. Lookout post, dining table, shelter, fortress. The leopard melts into every trunk, every root. Her body becomes shadow, a part of the forest. Kilimanjaro is a land of silent motion. No screams, no howls. Just the rustle of leaves, the creak of branches, the hush of paws on soft earth. Here, you don't need a vast territory. You just need to use space wisely. You don't need to hunt all the time. You just need to hunt at the right time. And in this quiet world, the leopard is the perfect ghost. She doesn't speak, but she's always there, at the right moment, in the right place. In the lowlands around Kilimanjaro, the dry season drags on longer than usual. Grasses that were once lush and green have turned brittle and yellow. Small watering holes shrink fast. No sign of the short mid-season rains. But not every creature waits for the rain to return. Some know. If they don't leave in time, there may be nothing left to come back to. Leading the journey is a matriarch elephant. Her wide ears catch the breeze. Head lowered, her eyes scan the horizon like she's reading a map. One printed in memory, not ink. Behind her, a whole herd follows. Adults, calves, some just tall enough to reach their mother's knee. Each footstep presses deep into the dry soil, leaving a trail a record of survival on the edge of a changing world. The herd doesn't run, they don't rush, but they cover distance, long distances. Sometimes more than 20 miles a day, and yet their path is never random. The matriarch chooses the route based on memory, a canyon that once held water, a shaded grove that gave them rest. A low-lying patch where rains tend to arrive first. When they encounter signs of humans' electric fences, the hum of engines, the scent of fertilizer, they change course immediately. Not from fear, but from wisdom. Some of the older ones still remember a time they wandered near a farm, and one of them never returned. Elephants avoid conflict not because they're weak, but because they're smart. To them, survival always comes first. When the heat rises, the larger elephants cast shade over the young. Some draw water up from below ground and spray it onto their backs, nature's version of air conditioning. When they find a muddy patch, they roll and cover themselves thick to cool off and to keep insects away. In the herd, the young are always surrounded. If a branch cracks, if a distant growl echoes, the adults stop. They face the direction of the sound. No panic, just alert. Elephants communicate through infrasound, low-frequency rumbles that travel underground. Far beyond human hearing, these signals help them stay connected even when they can't see each other. When the threat passes, the herd moves again, still slow, still steady, still searching for water, for grass, for safe passage. As the elephants disappear behind the shrubs, a new shape appears on the opposite slope. A herd of zebras. Compared to elephants, zebras are much smaller. but their rhythm of movement is just as relentless. They too have left the lowlands earlier than usual. The grass is drying up, the water vanishing fast, and the zebras don't wait around. They head for higher ground. Where the rains come sooner, the grass holds longer, and danger is less concentrated. Leading them is a strong, alert zebra, not the biggest but the one who knows the way. This lead zebra has already guided the herd through 2 harsh, dry seasons. And once again, all eyes follow her. The zebras move in loose groups, keeping flexible spacing. Young ones stay in the middle, flanked by mothers or older companions. If anything changes, a flap of wings, a rock rolling out of place, they stop instantly. No alarm call, no signal, but every head lifts, every ear turns. When threatened, zebras don't flee immediately. They form a circle, backs inward, eyes facing out. The young stay protected in the center. It's a simple tactic, but it makes predators think twice. And zebras never travel alone. They move alongside antelope, buffalo, not out of friendship, but strategy. The more eyes around, the lower the odds of being surprised. One pair of eyes can't see everything, but 100 pairs just might. Zebras also help bring the land back to life. They feed on the tougher upper layers of grass, leaving the fresh shoots for smaller grazers. Their dung returns nutrients to the soil. After a migration, they don't leave destruction behind. They leave rebirth. When they find a patch of new grass fresh after a rain, they pause. But they don't lie down. They don't relax fully. Their eyes still scan. Ears still twitch. There's always one standing guard. Always subtle signals between herd members. As dusk falls, they move again. They never stay in one spot too long. Not because of food shortage, but because everything can change overnight. Water can vanish, grass can wilt, or a new predator can arrive. Zebras aren't the strongest, not the fastest, not the fiercest, but they have something no one can steal. The ability to read the land, to read the wind, and to read the past, written in hoofprints and cracked mud. In times of drought, every footprint in the dust becomes a clue. A living map, not written in ink, but in grass, dirt, and scent. And for those who can read that map, there's always a way forward. Elephants, with the memory of forests. Zebras, with the instinct to follow old paths. They don't move to conquer, they move to preserve something simple, something vital, life itself. In Kilimanjaro, survival doesn't just happen on the ground. This forest lives in layers. A vertical ecosystem of earth, tree, and stone. And in every layer, there's a species that plays the role of a sentinel, not through strength, but through vigilance and strategy. High in the canopy, colobus monkeys move like flashes of black and white drifting through the dark green leaves. No screaming, no chaos. Just the soft creak of branches each time one leaps, from limb to limb. Colobus monkeys don't have thumbs. Their hands curve like hooks, perfect for grasping slender branches. Small, light, agile. They leap sideways without momentum, but always with precision. One misstep, and they fall. One missed grip, and it's over. Mothers cradle their babies close to their bellies, their eyes constantly scanning, ears tuned to the treetops. Their main food? Mature leaves? What most animals ignore, they thrive on. Thanks to a specialized stomach, colobus monkeys can digest high-fiber plant matter. No need for fruit, no need for insects. They live within a familiar patch of forest, but that comfort comes with a price. Constant awareness. Lower in the forest, a group of mongooses moves silently through the underbrush. No rushing, just steady, in a line. Each one keeping distance, like a well-practiced patrol. The lead checks the path. The last one often stands guard. But roles rotate constantly. Within a few yards, the formation shifts. The leader moves to the middle, the guard takes the front. No signals, no squabbling, just instinctive teamwork. At a patch of shrubs, they stop. A few begin to dig, searching for termite nests, ant colonies, or lizards hiding beneath the soil. As they dig, others form a watch circle, ears up, eyes scanning. If they find food, they share. If not, they move on, no hesitation. Every few feet, one stands tall on hind legs. Checking the path ahead. From above, if the colobus send out a warning, one mongoose will chirp. A short, sharp call. The group freezes, all rise, all turn to face the unknown. If the threat becomes clear, they retreat, calmly. A mother tugs her young into a hollow tree. An adult male steps forward, not to fight, but to serve as the buffer. When the noise fades, the group resumes. Their rhythm never breaks. Their formation stays tight. Mongooses may be small, not powerful, but in the lower forest, they are one of the most organized animals. Defined roles, clear responsibilities. No shouting, no confusion. Everyone knows what to do. A survival unit, ticking like a watch. Higher up, on steep rock faces, a pair of klipspringers stands frozen on a narrow ledge, not resting, just watching, eyes scanning the sky, ears tilted upward, waiting or bracing. Klipspringers don't have sharp claws, but their rounded rubbery hooves grip rock like suction cups. They don't move often, but when they do, it's a leap. From one rock to the next. No warm-up, no sound, just perfect control. A single mistake could send them plunging into the ravine. They live in pairs. Often for life. Not out of romance, but out of strategy. When one eats, the other watches. Even during rest, one always stays alert. No orders, just quiet coordination. Their danger doesn't come from below, but from above. A single eagle can strike in seconds. That's why klipspringers always stay close to crevices. Places with a narrow field of view from the sky, but with multiple escape routes. Elsewhere, a mongoose finds snake tracks near a rock crevice. The group circles it. They don't attack blindly. Some fake charges. They snarl. When the snake turns, the others close in. If the snake refuses to back off, they fight. Not because they're stronger, but because they're united. Higher up, the klipspringers hear the growls. They don't need to see the snake. They simply shift to a different rock, away from trouble. Three species. 3 vertical worlds. They don't share food. They don't compete. They may never meet. But through their signals, they help each other survive. Colobus monkeys warn from the treetops. Mongooses respond on the forest floor. Klipspringers avoid danger from the skies. No alliance, no leader. Yet together, they form a 3-dimensional web of awareness. An invisible safety net that works in perfect rhythm. No words needed, just instinct. Beneath the cracked earth on the outskirts of Kilimanjaro, a herd of oryx moves quietly, not fast, not frantic. But they never stop. They don't rely on speed. They don't survive by numbers. Oryx live by endurance. A unique network of blood vessels inside their skull cools the blood before it reaches the brain, a built-in air conditioner allowing them to endure heat that would cripple most animals. Their horns are not just ornaments, they are weapons. long, straight, and sharp like twin spears. When danger comes from jackals or young lions, they don't run right away. The herd forms a defensive ring, horns facing outward. One charge can be enough to send a predator retreating. As the heat builds, a young calf lies down beside a dry bush. Its mother stands guard, ears up, eyes locked on the shimmering horizon. Silence here is never peace. It's the final layer of defense.
As the sun falls behind the savannah, the last winds carry dust across the broken land. Footprints fade into the cracked earth, but each mark tells a story, written by instinct, etched by courage, paid for in ways words cannot capture. The zebras still move forward, even when the green tomorrow is uncertain. The elephants still search for water, even when each step grows heavier. The small warriors, the mongooses and klipspringers, still stand, still fight, still refuse to fall. Above, the eagle still searches. In the shadows, the leopard still waits. Across every field, across every sky, the battle never ends. There is no final victory here. Only those strong enough, wise enough, will leave their mark behind. Thank you for walking these relentless paths with Wild Expeditions. If you share our love for the wild, please like, subscribe, and share this journey. Because every story passed on is a small flame of hope for those still fighting in silence. Until we meet again in the next adventure, where life never surrenders.